there's no reason to watch the weather report, no matter where you live. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. It's frickin' freezing. That's the weather. It's cold enough. It's colder than a witch's Titty. And what does that even mean? So I have just been outside to go to the coffee shop, which is somehow makes my day just start right. Well, the coffee shop ain't open yet. So Big Tanda had to come home, and now she's got to make her own coffee, and she doesn't even like coffee because, well, that's a whole nother long story. Look at all these people awake. Is everybody, when you get old, can you not sleep? Because I've heard people say that for years, and I will say it's probably a little karma for me because I'm like, I can't sleep. I mean, what the hell are they talking about? I could sleep if I just thought about sleeping. Well, now I wake up at 6. What am I gonna have to drink? Like a soft coffee. And I could wake up at 6. And we have a 9-year-old with autism that sleeps in our room. Your heat went off. Holy crapoly. Well, I go to the bathroom and I come back, and then there's a 9-year-old in my bed. And I didn't know it, so I just did my hand, and he said, "Stop hitting my body." I was like, well, they're teaching them that at school, which is good. But I was like, I didn't hit your body. It's my bed. How far you say I'm old? You were up all night wrapping presents? What are you on, crack? I mean, why in the world would you be up all night wrapping presents? Just suddenly do that thing that all the other people in the world do. Santa doesn't wrap. Yeah, I have earrings on. When you go to the coffee shop in your pajamas, if you put on a mink, a coonskin hat, and earrings, suddenly you're dressy. So it's 9 degrees this morning. Yes, I said 9 degrees today. My Belize mug. I'm going to channel my inner warmth. And last night, we went to our cousin's house, and I took the golf cart. It was freezing, but I was like, I'll wear my, mink coat. And my son, who's 17, and that's a year away from being an adult. Has anybody thought about raising the age of adulthood to 21? Because 17 is just not close enough. He has on no coat. It's in the 20s. You're a huge morning person. Ugh, I am not. I know my microwave is very high up here. I can't help it. I didn't put it up here. The people that built the house did. Yeah, get a gift bag. Thank you. It's time for gift bags. You need to give up on the wrapping, get the gift bags out, say it's Santa, do something. But anyway, so my son has on my coat, and I have on no coat last night. And I said, this helps you. I always try to think of the positive. This helps you think about how it feels for people that, the people on Everest that go up there and have to spend the night. He said, that would never happen to me. I would not put myself in that position. And I was thinking, that's sort of true. No one in my family is going to go to Everest. What are we, crazy? It's 12 degrees from Florida. So my parents are down in Miami, and, we're going to visit them for Christmas. And the high tomorrow is 54. The high here is 29. 29. Usually at Christmas, I promise you, it's 60 degrees. Well, they're sending out, like, they're texting like cold warnings over this 54 degrees. I'm like, I should wear my mink and my coonskin cap. I'd have to get a school stool to reach that microwave. Well, it's called lift. Lift your arm. Anyway, no woods are getting stuck on Everest or in a tent. You have no hot water. Well, what are you going to do about it? Well, now you don't have to shower. Let's see your hair color. Don't go giving away all my secrets. So yesterday I went to have my hair done. My hair did. And Lori, my hairdresser, said, we need to color your hair. I haven't colored my hair in a couple years since COVID. And I have noticed lately when I've been telling people I don't color my hair, they're never like, wow, it looks so good. They're like, basically what they're thinking is, I can tell. So Lori did a little color yesterday. We are in the negative here in West Michigan. West Michigan? How do people live in Michigan? In Beaufort. Well, that sounds about like, I gotta switch my mug now. That sounds about like, make sure you have faucets dripping. Well, you don't need faucets dripping if you're in the house, do you? I mean, my family takes showers every 8 seconds. I mean, I don't know how I'd need a faucet to drip. We're gonna switch mugs. I may have to wear my mink today. It's 1 degree. You know, there's a lot of foulness about mink coats. At some point, the PETA are gonna come on here. Well, I did not kill the animal. The animal is dead, and I don't want to waste it. So don't blame me. Though I did get this coonskin cap from the gas station. Okay. This is what happens when the coffee shop is closed. So my parents are from Ohio. My dad is from a town called Avon Lake. And my mother is from a town called Wapakoneta, which is where Neil Armstrong was also from. And Dad dealt with lake effect snow. Yes, your pipes can freeze. Well, I mean, I just don't think they can freeze because this is what happens all day. It ain't happening. You know what they did when they were in Ohio? They lived in lake effect snow, my dad did. They moved. They were so cold up there that they had to get out and come to North Carolina. And in fact, when I was going to not grocery store, when I was going to graduate school. When I was going to graduate school, I got into Cornell, which is sort of impressive for somebody that didn't break 1,000 on the SAT. Well, I also got into NC State. And my dad said, that it's cold up there. I was like, I love snow. He was like, yeah, you don't even know what snow is, girl. He said, well, if you want to go to school up there, you need to look at school loans. So you know where I went? NC State. Yes, I did. Got my PhD from there. Just fine. Wonderful school. And now I'm not married to some Yankee living up there freezing my ass off. Cold enough here. I mean, I've never seen so much discussion about pipes freezing. A 46 car wreck in Ohio yesterday. Okay, Jennifer, let's have a discussion a minute here. And this is not, I'm not judging anyone, but I am curious. I was watching the videos of people on the highway driving. And now, for argument's sake, let's go ahead and argue that we're not going to count people that are, where is my, we're not going to count doctors, nurses, or, y'all knew my tree fell over. I mean, look what it did to the furniture. It took a chunk out of my sideboard. And then when it fell over, my children took all the ornaments off because they were trying to be helpful and they thought we were just going to throw it away. It's like, no, you can actually stand it back up. I mean, it's like people have had lobotomies that I live with. Oh, okay, so I digress. Where's Amos?
There he is.
There he is.
What are you?
What am I?
A raccoon.
I'm a raccoon? You want to wear my hat?
No.
No.
Rackety coon.
Rackety coon?
You go nap at my couch.
Go nap on my couch.
Yes.
You go nap on my couch. That's because this is my area here, and that's his area. No one's allowed in his area. Oh my God, I need reading glasses. I can't sleep, and now I need reading glasses. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be in full on like menopause. Oh my God, y'all are still talking about the frickin' pipes. Is it really that much of a problem? The pipes are still frozen. I mean, the pipes. Old English scratch cover for the sideboard. Let me tell you something. I ain't worried about that sideboard. I got that sucker downtown at the consignment shop. I mean, it was $300. I thought it looked pretty damn good. And, I mean, everything I have looks beat to hell. You look like you've had enough coffee. Kiss my ass, Danny Holbrook. That's my first sip of the day, smarty pants. We're gonna turn on the news. I think it's too early for even news to be on. Oh, so we watch all these news stories, and people are driving, and they're like, it's gonna be, there's blizzard conditions. Well, why are people driving? Menopause for 5 years. Well, you're going to be in menopause forever. Oh, you mean when the symptoms go away? Oh, I don't know enough about that. Let's see if we can find any thing on the snow. Sometimes what I like to do is watch Raleigh news. Even though I don't live in Raleigh, I used to. It makes me feel fancy. Marriage Talk. What is that? It's a show called Marriage Talk. I mean, where did these shows come from?
She was the daughter of Bethuel, who was the son of Abraham's brother Nahor and his wife Milcah. Brothers, why y'all be marrying sisters that can't carry a burden?
I would sooner get my pinky toe pulled out. I think I'll watch Arthur's Perfect Christmas. Oh God, now they've moved from frozen pipes to menopause.
There was just one thing.
Yeah, oh, no, that's not what I want to watch. Oh, but anyway, okay. Did you put your ornaments back on your tree? No, I haven't put the ornaments back on the tree. No, I don't have time to do that. Up here in Chesapeake with COVID. Oh. If it is snowing, the Today Show is on. If it is snowing, I don't see it. Do not drive. The Today Show is not on. It's wavy. It doesn't come on until 8 a.m. FYI. You ask why people are driving. I drive for UPS. So, Kathy, did you not hear my initial outlier. I said, if you are a doctor or a nurse, or you are a delivery driver, or maybe I'm sure there's something else. You're in the power crew. These are people that are exempt from this conversation. You can't tell me when 150 drivers are stranded because they closed the highway down, they have to be evacuated to a shelter. That is not 150 delivery drivers and doctors. It's not. There are some people in there that are like, damn it, I'm going to Target. I hadn't gotten stuff for Johnny's stocking, and I've got to get there. You learn how to drive in it when you have stuff to do. You don't let a little snow stop you. Well, Holly, clearly people have not learned how to drive in it. There are like 46 car pileups. I mean, I'm just pointing out the obvious here. What do I know? Tow truck drivers. Yes. Lord, dear baby Jesus, we're going to exempt tow truck drivers. I mean, we know this. But there are other people out there who are like, well, I'm going to see my mother for Christmas. Well, then you need to have gone like 2 days ago. The mailman. Oh my God, this is like being in hell. I mean, I feel like I'm with my children. Are you all going to try to think of every exemption on the planet? You're in the bathtub right now? I've never taken a bath this early in my life unless I was covered in vomit. I'm totally serious. So we don't have a lot of news stories here this early. We have, like, if you want to watch Wavy TV 10, no offense against Wavy TV 10, but basically it's like tells you who got shot in Virginia. I mean, it just gets old. You get tired of hearing about all these people getting shot. That seems mean. They had to come out for pop, liquor, and cigarettes. Oh, I like this person. Slee, I refuse to acknowledge any negative, whining people and comments. Sending those your way. You have to have good winter tires. You know, I'm perfectly comfortable in a mink coat in this house because I keep it on 65. Yesterday, we went over to church, and I was like, it is a freaking inferno in here. And they're like, it's on 65. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard. It was 72 in there. I mean, maybe because I'm the one that gets the electric bill. I mean, buck up and put on some socks and coats. In fact, I woke up thinking my 17-year-old really needs a coat for Christmas. Now, what are the chances that I'm going to get one for him today? Very small. 7 degrees wind chill here, -7. You told your daughter and son-in-law not to come for Christmas. So somebody last night was telling me, they said, and it was a man, oh, there's a sunrise. Let's look at it. He said, it's very sad when you don't have anybody at your house Christmas morning. Let's go out here and see. Read it. Oh, doggone it. There's a hole in my screen. Shoot, how'd that happen? You know what happened? I bet a darn stick or something hit it. I'll be damned. Holy crap. Holy crap, Batman. It is cold, but look at that sunset. If I ever get lost in the wilderness, I won't live. I mean, you can't make this up. And there's times that I'm like, I would like to live in Africa. I mean, Africa. Alaska. I probably would like Africa better than Alaska. Let's see what this dude says. This guy's committed. He's got on a tie, a sweater, and a jacket, and it's buttoned.
Mary, just cold. Temps in the 30s for the afternoon. Now, high pressure is going to continue to build in, slowly build in. We're still going to be under the influence of this Arctic air, so it'll stay cold.
Under the influence. We're all hammered because
Monday night, Tuesday night. But look at our afternoon high temperatures. They're slowly crawling and defrosting, so to speak, thawing out as we go into early
defrosting, thawing out. Sunset, sunrise. It's sunrise, Fiona. Where in the devil do you live? Is it? Honor is not used to that cold weather. So when we go to the airport, the question is, do I wear the mink coat and, oh, did I say sunset? Well, I meant sunrise. I mean, y'all, use your somethings. Mimi said, it's true, when you live in the north, you have to drive to exist, but there are different snows. Experience and common sense are important. Well, Mimi, they keep showing pictures of people that are not using common sense. It's like in North Carolina when there's a hurricane. Maybe they just are trying to be dramatic, but in North Carolina when there's a hurricane, they always show people that have on like plastic bags on their feet. And it's embarrassing. It makes North Carolina look insane because people here don't walk around with plastic bags on their feet. You said sunset. Oh my God. Let's see what David Muir said last night about this. I'm in Australia. Oh, that's so nice. Is it already Christmas from there? Look. Winter storm chaos.
Now spreading to the northeast. More than 200 million Americans feeling the wrath of this historic storm. Blizzard conditions, coastal flooding, and shocking temperature drops. In Cheyenne, Wyoming, a record 43-degree plunge in just 1 hour. More than 1 million customers without power in the bone-chilling cold. 5,000 flights canceled on one of the busiest travel days of the year. And deadly pileups on highways nationwide.
I'm not laughing at the deadly. Okay, this person here. Okay, wait. Hold on. We got to go back. Hold on. We want to go back to this a minute. Hold on. Oh no, we don't care about him. We're not talking about President Trump this morning. This is too early. Hold on. I want you to go look at something. Okay, ready?
43-degree plunge in just 1 hour. More than 1 million customers without power in the bone-chilling cold. 5,000 flights canceled.
Okay, first we're going to talk about the fact that if you have a flight today or yesterday, you're not going anywhere. Where? You needed to leave early. Don't come crying to me that your flight has been canceled. I have a flight, not today, maybe tomorrow. And somebody was like, well, are you worried it's going to leave? I was like, no, I'm not worried about it because what the hell am I going to do about it? I mean, you just have to understand that, like, you're probably not flying. And you got to get on, move on. Okay, so your flights are canceled. Like this one that says now at 1 p.m., it was at 9:10. It's actually canceled. I'm just going to do you a favor.
On one of the busiest travel days of the year, and deadly pileups on highways nationwide. We have team.
Okay. Can you all see this person right here? Okay, look.
Coverage. Trevor Ault in New York City, Elwin Lopez in Atlanta, and Rob Marciano.
Why would you be driving on the sidewalk of a flood? And don't tell me that it's because you're a delivery driver or a mailman. You're in Montana? My friend Latham Jenkins is in Jackson Hole. I mean, this is too early. Oh, Ann Dale, I woke up thinking about you. So Ann Dale Homestead is from my town, or actually it's her town, and I moved here 20 years ago. And we get together on Monday mornings sometimes. Though, Ann, I guess we're missing this week and maybe the next week. But now you can worry about getting strep throat. Poor Ukraine. That's Zelensky. I bet there was a teensy part of him that showed up at the White House, and he probably had some really good food, and then was like, should I go back? I guess I have to go back. I can't watch the news. Over 700 people are as crazy as I am being up so early. Well, do you know what has to happen today? In all seriousness. Okay, let's look at, wait, hold on. This is so good. Let's watch these people at the airport. This was last night. If you're in Buffalo, do not drive. Do not ever drive into a very large puddle. Like, that is dumb. Hello? These people are all not delivery drivers. Some of them are trying to get home. I mean, y'all are just going to have to stay put. I mean, we have had warning about this. Just sit your ass at home and, oh, look at the airport.
Look at the airport.
I tell you, he's going to be sad if the airport thing doesn't work. Is that person in there? He is real excited to go to the airport.
Look at that, the airport.
What is today?
It's Sunday again.
It's not Sunday again. Today's Saturday.
It's,
Christmas Eve.
we're going to the pageant.
We are. We're going to the pageant. And what are you going to be in the pageant? What's Amos? You're going to be a King. What's that?
You're gonna be
King.
police cop.
No, not a police cop. What is a King?
Not a king.
Not a king.
Just a police cop.
You want to be a police cop in the pageant. 2 kings and a police cop. You know, I would tell you that it's probably a possibility. I doubt if she is flying when all those flights have been canceled. Well, I'm supposed to fly tomorrow. Do you think I'm not gonna? I tell you what I should have done. I should have changed my flight to leave earlier. I would have left earlier, but the darn tickets were so expensive. It's cheaper to fly on Christmas. Glad your furnace is working. So that's a true story. Over Thanksgiving, we had no heat in here for like 2 weeks. This kind of cold, Adrian would be staying at a friend's house. And I'm sure all the friends would be like, we got COVID. We're real sick. I need to find out about my flight. We're flying Allegiant. Do you know anybody know anything about Allegiant? In the spring, we're flying Avelo. That's a brand new airline. It's real cheap.
Tonight, the Arctic blast sweeping the nation, stranding
This is in
passengers
Atlanta.
coast to coast on one of the busiest travel days of the year. An ice storm in Seattle this morning, eventually shutting down all their runways.
We got onto the plane and we were getting ready to go, and then they were like, no, this is canceled, too much ice.
Across the country in Buffalo, where more than 3 feet of snow could fall, their airport closed today and not expected to reopen until Christmas night. Detroit seeing 2/3 of their flights canceled or delayed.
We keep getting updates every 20 minutes that it's delayed.
And this morning,
Yeah, it's not going.
striking a Spirit flight from Philadelphia to Cancun, forcing it to make an emergency landing. More than 5,000
Struck by lightning. I would almost feel like God didn't want you to live. One time I got to the airport. This is when I'm going to get a mean comment about being entitled. And evidently the cruise ships, their software was down, and it was on like a Saturday or something. Well, all the people from the cruise boat hadn't been able to check in for their flights. I got to the airport, and when I say the line was wrapped around the airport, it was wrapped around the airport. And it was Mother's Day, and it felt important to me in that moment to get home. And I went and picked some people that looked nice and said, I'll pay you each $20, the person in front of me and the person behind me, to get in this line so I can get home to my four children. And you know what they did? They let me get in the line and didn't even make me pay. Allegiant cancels more flights. Shit. Tell me that. So Allegiant wants you to pay for seats. Do you all pay for seats to sit beside your children on the plane? It's something I'm highly against. So I've never paid to sit beside a child on a plane. I just feel like it's not, it just seems wrong to me. Like, if you're traveling with a baby, why would you need to pay to sit beside them? And you know, before you argue with me, the FAA said, and the National Department of Transportation said, the airlines need to stop doing that. So I'm just helping them. So tomorrow, we have 4 kids and a service dog. And I'm really like, should I pay for a seat? Won't pay for seats. I know, right? And the last time I didn't pay for the seat, I asked a woman if she would switch with me, and you know what she said? No. So I found somebody else to switch. But you know what I should have done? I should have plopped Amos right there in the middle beside her person
Mommy,
and been like, good luck.
it's too early.
It's too early for what?
The passion.
Oh yeah, the pageant is not until tonight.
It's too early for the passion.
It's too early for the pageant. Yeah, where the pageant's at, we have to leave at 4:30. So we need to pack. We need to call Allegiant. We need to feed people. It's going to be 18 meals by 4:30. This is why mothers are tired. 6 people, Christmas Eve. At least 15 meals, because I don't need to eat 3 times. Don't pay. I love you, Samantha. Yeah, I mean, nobody cares if you sit beside your husband. I'm not that person. I mean, go online and get seats. Oh, all right. No, don't pay. Seriously, what if I just said, goodbye, Amos? Good luck. Will Honor have a seat or be in the cargo hold? So this is interesting, or at least for me. So the deal with service dogs these days are, yeah, and if I had paid for my seat, I wouldn't want to switch with somebody either. I don't blame the people getting on the plane. I just think no one should be paying for seats. That's what I think. Then nobody will be pissed. If nobody pays, they can't sell the seats. You know? Damn it. So there's a new service dog procedure with some of the airlines Allegiant being one. It's actually really helpful. It's called Open Doors, and you go in and apply to take your service dog, and then they email you back and give you approval or not approval. Well, we first didn't get approved. It was a little bit of a glitch, and the woman from the organization actually called me and apologized, which is super nice. And she explained to me, because I was like, why didn't we get approved? You know, I had the name of our organization, Paws for People. She was like, well, somebody didn't call. It was a great time for staff training, you know, very nice. And she said, you would be amazed how many people lie, not only lie about it being a service dog, but they actually put down the names of legitimate service dog, like Canine Companions, Paws for People. There's a few big service dog organizations. They put the name down. So they go to the trouble. I mean, I would be worried I'd be going to hell and lie. And then when they called the organization, and Paws for People said to me, yeah, we've had somebody that they said, we have a certificate from Paws for People. They were like, one, we don't give certificates, and two, we've never heard from that person again. I think there should be like a do not fly list. Now, the rule with airplanes these days is if you have a small dog, you can pay $75 and the dog can ride on the plane with you. Doesn't need to be a service dog, doesn't need to be an emotional support dog, just a dog. We had a 3-year-old sit beside us. Why didn't you switch with the mom? Did you volunteer too? I mean, I would worry somebody might like get my child. Anyway, not Amos. I mean, if you touch him, he's going to yell, don't hit my body. Well, if you have a bigger dog, like a golden retriever, like we do, they cannot fly on the plane unless they are a service dog. Do not lie and go to the trouble of trying to fool someone into thinking they're a service dog. I'm like ready to sign up with this organization. Airlines can only take a certain amount of dogs in a cabin. I don't know about that, Lynn. That sounds like something you just made up too. I'm the queen of making up things. Like if you're gonna say something like that, you need to put a number on. How do people pay their heating bills? I rarely turn on my heat. Where do you live? Well, a lot of places where you live, you can get assistance with your heating bill. I keep mine on 65, and I wear this mink and a coonskin cap. Yes, my parents know the service dog is coming. I don't know if they're super excited, but they're good sports. My dad said it was my Christmas present. You know, it'll be nice for Amos. He'll enjoy it. I don't know the number, but I've flown 4 million miles. They're restricted. Huh. Well, I don't know about that. I would find out. We can do a little teensy Google search. And how do you know how many miles you've flown? That's like knowing how many books you've read. Huh. Interesting. Where are you going tomorrow? Miami. 2 dogs per cabin unless a service dog. Really? That's legit? Usually you can tell when somebody's a fake service dog because they're usually the ones taking a doo-doo in the airport. True story. It says it on my frequent flyer card. So do you only fly one airline though? I mean, I'm flying a Velo, American, a something, Allegiant. Check documentation, 150 each way. Nope, now it's 75. 75. Yep. And then somebody on my post, when I was talking about this the other day, do you know what they said? People like to lie. They said, well, I was on a plane and this person's horse came on and they had to get it its own seat. I mean, that is the biggest bunch of baloney. That's like the same people that truly believe there are students that identify as cats using kitty litter in the high school. Do not believe, if crap sounds ridiculous to you, say no to crap. It's not true. No. Well, I believe you, Janet. Well, anyway, you do not have to pay for a service dog. You do need to submit the proper paperwork. And this Open Doors organization makes it a little bit easier because once you get your certification, you're good for like a year, which is great. But it's complicated. I mean, they are calling the organization. So the law regarding service dogs is different than what the FAA requires. The FAA requires a much higher standard. So the American with Disabilities Act says anybody can train your dog, right? A service dog is a dog that has been trained to perform a task. The FAA says no, a service dog has to have been trained by an organization. So they're taking up the requirements a step higher. So in that case, they trump, it's like paper, rock, scissors, they trump those rules. Going to bed. Okay, good night. There's a man in our town who took his service pony in a Cracker Barrel. So the law changed about a year or two ago, and dog and ponies are no longer, I'm fairly sure this is right, ponies are no longer considered service animals. I think it's legit dogs. Plane crash? This girl in a school near me will only go in a litter box at the school. Okay, Michelle, that is not true. I promise you, no one is using a litter box at school, and there is no parent that is abiding by that. That is called urban myth. There are no litter boxes in schools. In fact, litter boxes are outlawed federally. So if a school puts a litter box in the bathroom, they can be charged and lose all their exceptional child funding. Yeah, it's true. So if someone tells you there is a litter box in the school, you tell them that is a lie. It's a lie. Now, do people identify as cats? Unfortunately, yes. Yes, they do. We had a substitute assistant teacher that was, a cat. Yeah. It's hard to get subs these days. I mean, we blame the General Assembly. They're the people that are all done in over the cats. I mean, if we could pay people and not make them drive buses, we'd probably be able to pick people a little bit, higher quality. What is the chance that you would be standing on a plane on a beach and get hit by a plane and killed and be the mayor? I mean, that is terrible. I saw a picture of a miniature horse service pet on a flight, but it was real, and I assumed it was in America. Well, it's not now. Ain't no horses on flights. No. Nope. They have adopted the litter box in bathrooms at a school by me. In fact, 2 school districts are allowing it, but this is really going on. Well, Sandra, I would like to see a picture of the litter box. You can log in and we'll do a live video of the litter box because I do not believe that is true. That sounds like something Tucker Carlson is trying to tell people. What did you say about substitutes and buses? In our district, not substitutes, assistant teachers have to be willing to drive a school bus. We have a lot of people who do not want to drive a school bus, and you have to. So it is hard for us to get assistant teachers because they have to drive the school bus. True. Not substitutes. They don't have to do anything. Yeah, I mean, I'm really struggling with believing this about the kitty litter. What happens is somebody thinks it and then they say it. I mean, I was at a party last night and the person was telling me about kitty litter. And I said, this is how rumors get started. That is not true. I mean, you have to, you wouldn't want to drive a bus. I tell you what, you wouldn't want me driving a bus. And I don't think we have the best drivers. I won't say who. One of my children claims their bus driver is terrible. And she said, well, they had somebody ride because somebody told their parent, and the day the person rode, she acted like she drove good. Usually she's yelling at everybody and running lights. Your electricity off, or are you on your way to a fashion show? I was trying to go to the coffee shop and it wasn't open yet. They would have to have their CDL license. I know. Darn it. Barely have enough custodians. Well, oh, the custodians have to drive the buses too. It's bad times in North Carolina. Are you still watching? Thank you, Mary. Who's buying? Mega Millions jackpot. Are you sleepy? Are you sleepy, Pee-Pee? Amos, tomorrow morning, if you get up early, what are we going to do with your brothers and sister?
We're gonna go to the airport. Yeah.
Who's going?
Amos,
Amos. Who else?
Thomas,
Uh-huh.
Russell,
Yeah.
Daddy, Sissy,
Uh-huh.
and Honor.
And what about
Mommy.
Mommy? You forgot Mommy. Do you want Mommy to stay home?
No.
No.
Just flying on the airplane.
Oh, Mommy loves the airplane. 18-year bus driver. Hopefully the aides are getting the full training and carry a CDL license. Yes, they do. I don't know if they get double pay. My sister said they had a sub who identified as a cat. Why don't you make coffee? Well, because I like chai tea, and it's not nearly as good when I make it. I did buy the diet chai tea. It was bad. No litter boxes. Thank you, Debbie. Let me tell you what. If somebody tells me that they identify as a cat, I'm going to tell them I identify as a pit bull. I think the furry rumor was meant to propagate transphobia. I think you're probably right. I don't know what that is, but you're probably right. There's a real thing with, all I know is I got enough going on in my little hemisphere that I don't need to worry about other people. if you want to be gay, be gay. If you're born gay, you're gay. Like, why do I need to get involved? Why am I going to? That's why it was so dumb when they had the bathroom laws. Like, you're transgender, you can't use the bathroom. I mean, are you crazy? Like, I have more shit going on than to do that. My husband always would say, pit bulls are the best. Well, Crystal, this comment is not going to make me popular, but pit bulls also are the majority breed that kills people. And we know people love pit bulls, and they're nice, and I know this because I have attended pit bull seminars. But I talked to that family who lost their 2 children to their pit bull who had been their pet for 7 years and killed their 5-month-old and 2.5-year-old. And that mother would tell you that was a concern. And this was their family pet. You don't hear about golden retrievers mauling people. Laura said she'll PayPal me $50 if I go to the airport with my litter box. Okay, I'm taking a service dog and a person with autism and 3 teenagers. I can't carry a litter box. I want to take this mink coat. I mean, and if somebody identified as a cat in the school were really going to do a litter box, I would be like, you know what you need to do? You need to teach the cat to use the toilet. Oh, it's my sister-in-law. Good morning. Merry Christmas from your sister-in-law that is frozen up here on the mountain. Oh, Caroline, did it snow there? Hi, Diana. Can you imagine what it would be like in Alaska? Someone was probably mean to the dog at some point. Well, I don't know. I think I wouldn't have a pit bull with small children, FYI. But that's just me. And I know there's some that people love. I mean, I have friends, they love them. The number 1 dog that bites in the U.S. are labs, not pit bulls. We're not talking about bite. We're talking about kill. Kill. The number 1 dog that kills are pit bulls. I will die on this hill. Mimi's still talking about bus drivers. No, I'll take it on the chin over this discussion. It's -4 in Alaska. Well, that's hardly even cold. It's like 7 degrees here in wind chill. And I basically live in Alaska. Need lawyer. I probably do. Lord knows I'll get more darn messages. You have lots of ice. Jimmy has an interesting concept. If you identify as an animal, then live as one. See how far this life takes you as an animal. I am the same. I don't have time to deal with others, but it is just wrong. Oh, that's real funny. So if you identify as a cat, you're now an outdoor cat. We're getting you declawed. Here's some cat food. So this is a real thing my sister-in-law is talking about. In Florida, here yesterday it was windy, and I was like, watch out for tree branches. And I promise you, every nut, no pun intended, on the planet was outside yesterday picking up the frickin' pecans. I mean, it was like, if we don't get the pecans, another neighbor is going to get them. I have never in my life seen so many people picking up pecans. And these are not people that are starved. These are people that could buy pecans. I know pecans are expensive. La, 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 la. I know all these things. But don't get out in your yard or get under a bunch of pecan trees and then get hit by a pecan tree branch. It's not worth it. It's also super cold. I mean, I want pecans too, but you don't see me out there doing it. And FYI, if you're going to pick up pecans, there's this thing with a pole, and then it's like a little ball, and you roll it over and pick up the pecans. I mean, I saw some people that are going to be unable to move today because of the bending and squatting. And I actually rolled my window down to tell them I'm worried you're gonna get hit by a branch. And then I was like, you know what? Why am I getting involved in this? If they want to get hit by a pecan branch, they can. Like, I'm out. So I just walked on about my business. Wait, what was I saying? That there was something else even better. People don't teach their kids how to behave with dogs. I think people do pretty well. I have a lot of people that say to me, like, the dog is working, don't touch the dog. We were at the mall last week, and I said twice, you can always ask to pet the dog. And they asked, and then I get honored to get down and let them pet her. Amos was playing with Legos, and oh yeah, so my sister-in-law, that's what I was talking about. Is it pecans or pecans? Well, from Eastern North Carolina, it's pecans, but Big Tanda would call it pecans. I love a pecan. Yeah, people in Wisconsin. Yeah, I mean, it's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Okay, Caroline. So iguanas in Florida, like today, this woman has on, look at these glasses. She looks like Blippi. No, you can't wear glasses. You look like Blippi. No, that's bad. Good feet. Iguanas fall out of the trees. They freeze and they just kaput. So when you're on a walk in Florida, you better watch out because you could get hit by a iguana. Mm-hmm. It's true. Yes, sirree, Bobby. Well, the coffee shop is almost open. So I need to pack. One person in my house had the stomach bug yesterday. We're going to see how she's doing today. I'm guessing she's not going to church. If you have the stomach bug, no one wants to see you for 24 hours. Just FYI. It's been 24 hours this morning. I'm going to need this outfit to be part of next year's Christmas card. Big Tanda. I don't think my family would get in a picture with me. Though your 17-year-old nephew had on my mink coat last night. And he was a fan. I mean, maybe I almost feel like I identify as a raccoon. Petting I never got hit by an iguana in Florida. Well, I haven't either, but I've never seen one fall, but I've seen them splatted on the sidewalk. Sort of sad. Okay, if you want to give yourself an early Christmas present, you can come over and be a subscriber. Bobby, you used to be a subscriber, speak of the devil. My brother-in-law, now he's on too. Frontier woman. The frontier woman is, FYI, I'm the only person up in the house, and my husband swears, her brother, that he gets up every day at 5.
He's going on at 9.
That is the biggest lie. No one here gets up early. They all pretend they do because they think it sounds good. We don't need sleep. Well, they sleep like 14 hours a day. Boy had an iguana on the plane. Got up to pee. A gallon of water. Susan, I can't read all that comment. Now you're craving Chex Mix. They come back to life? The iguanas? Raccoons don't have eyes that pretty? No animals were harmed during the making of this video. You know, it's a real problem. People are very against minks. But I will tell you, I would not go slaughter a mink. I don't know what a mink is to have a coat. But I mean, if the thing's going to get sold at the thrift shop, somebody should be warm wearing it, right? I've heard nothing about Shanquella Robinson. There are no updates, no nothing, nothing. Shanquella Robinson from Charlotte was murdered by people that were supposed to be her friends, and not one of those dumbasses has been arrested. And I would say that that is totally on the Justice Department of United States. So, FYI. Love your hut spa. Oh, I love the word hut spa. Oh, a church steeple fell down. The Durham Baptists lost their steeple. That's like a bad omen. Just poof. What's the temperature where you are? It's cold. It's real cold. Busch Gardens it's so cold that the Busch Gardens is closed because of the weather. Like, how are you closed because it's cold? Read it later. I will, Susan. This is sad. What is sad? One person was killed in a camper fire. That would make me think that somebody had gotten them, because can't you get out of a camper? In Virginia Beach. Oh, that's terrible. It hasn't been this cold since 1999. Okay, I've got to get back on the golf cart and go to the coffee shop. Subscribers, get ready. We're going to take a little frigid ride downtown. Carry on, people. Jody, your subscriber, head over to the dark side next.